All right, I'm back, man. Y'all know how I do. Let's see if I can send the live out. Now I was trying to send this link. Got some guys that's coming on, so I want to make sure they get the link. But y'all, in this video, man, I'm going over World War III. Is it World War III for real? Y'all know on this channel we go over health, wealth, better understanding myself. Let me get this video real quick, y'all. Seems like they only let me send it out once it go live. But yeah, I got some people that's gonna tap into the show. I want to get y'all opinion as well on this. But without further ado, I'm gonna tap into what Trump said. He addressed everybody about the nuclear facilities being destroyed. But also, if y'all don't know about Valuetainment, Patrick David, he's Iranian. He's from Iran, but he made it big over here in America. So I want to see how weird that is now that, you know, America's bombing his country and how he feels about that, you know, repping America so hard. I'm going to go over all of this, and then I'm going to go over a little investments. After all of this, what should we be looking to invest in? In my opinion, I was going over that with some of the guys, but without further ado, let's get it.
Much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success. Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East.
Now, it get a little fishy right here. Everybody feels, because everybody in America was like that they don't want no war, but it seemed like Trump ready to flex his muscle.
Must now make peace. If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem.
Now, hold on now. When he say us, I think he's mentioning Israel as well. And I feel like that's where, like, I don't think all of us see that as the same. Like, we not fighting over what they do. I'm gonna let them go.
Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Raisin-Kane, spectacular general, and all of the brilliant military minds involved in this attack. With all of that being said, this cannot continue. There will be either peace or there will be tragedy for Iran far greater than we have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many targets left. Tonight's was the most difficult of them all, by far, and perhaps the most lethal. But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon.
That's crazy.
And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I just don't know why he got us riding for them like that. I guess we kind of, we riding with Israel. If Israel wrong or not, we don't even care. Like, whatever, we losing. We crashing out for them. That's what's crazy. And I thought different. I ain't think Trump was going to align himself with Israel when he became president for some reason. But I was shocked when he did. But World War III, man, I don't think Iran going to lay down like this. But I do want to show y'all Patrick Bet-David. I don't know if y'all familiar with who Patrick Bet-David is, but he's like the most famous Iranian person in America. And he be rooting for America. Like, he really, feel like he's an American. To what point, my question is, to what point when you from another country and then you move to this other country and you're getting money with, to what point when you start having a war with the other country, do you become like a spy or look suspect? Or, people got to be aware of what because you from this is your lineage, So it's like, I'm going to play y'all this real quick. But how weird would that look? But check it out. I'm going to play what they talk about what Iran needs to do. So this guy's Iranian, right? But he on America. He's, Trump, America. But he come to this land, a land where our ancestors from, and now he's rooting on our side. It's kind of like, to me, it's just real weird how this could take place. You don't see this in other countries. You don't see this reversal, but let them go.
Now let's talk about Iran. What happens to Iran next? What is the next move for Iran? What happens from here on? Because everybody was like, well, this is a great opportunity for Reza Pahlavi. I've had him on the podcast twice. I'm actually a fan of his. I think he's a very nice guy. I think he wants to make his mother proud. I think he wants to make his father, who was in exile 45, 46 years ago, I think he feels he wants to make him proud. He just passed the age of his father that he passed. I asked him the question, does it make you feel weird that you are officially older than your dad was when he died? He says, I'm not going to lie to you. When this happened a couple of years ago, I was. But he had an opportunity to give a definite answer. If this were to happen, I want the entire audience watching this. Tell me how definite this answer is. When he was asked yesterday, if this were to happen, are you ready to go back? Rob, if you got the clip, I send it to you. Please play this clip, because I have a message for Reza Pahlavi and his people. And trust me, they're not going to be happy with what I have to say, and I'm going to get a lot of weird messages from people. But the only way I know how to go is, we don't take money from anyone. We don't have Qatar money. We don't have Israel money. We don't have private equity money. The only thing I sold is my insurance company. Everything we do by Timon and Bet-David Consulting and any of that stuff, I've not taken a single penny off the table since the day we started by Timon in 2013. I don't take money off the table. Everything has been reinvested back into it, 100% of it. The reason why we can talk like this, because nobody tells us what to say. We talk. And by the way, You know what I love about what happened? I'm on 2 threads last week on X. One thread is saying, I can't believe Pat turned his back against Israel. On another thread, they said Pat is bought and owned by, what do you call it? What do they call it? What's the word when they say
Illuminati,
Zionist, AIPAC, all this other stuff, right? And then we have a show called Her Take. And Anna Kasparian, who is not pro-Israel.
Hi, I'm Nicole
he's
Hoxton from
Iranian.
Sandy Hook Promise. The shooter who murdered my son at Sandy Hook Elementary School was able to shoot 100
at the highest level can come and represent one of our shows for the 7th time now, go up against Adam, and we are comfortable with that conversation. We are comfortable with that conversation. If you don't respect that, it's not my problem. We're comfortable with that conversation. Rob, I don't know what you're putting up here right now because I'm not going here, so I don't know what you just put up, Rob. Can you tell me what this was put up for?
My apologies, sir. I'm loading something
Okay.
up.
Yeah, so we are very comfortable with us entertaining these types of conversations. I'm very comfortable with Adam and Benny going back and forth and having these types of discussions. But watch this clip here. Here's Reza Pahlavi, who is, I believe it's CNN or Fox. I don't know which one it is, Rob. He's being asked, if this were to happen, it's Fox, are you ready to go back to Iran? And listen to his answer. Go for it.
You have said that you don't seek power, but you are ready to fulfill a duty if called upon. If the people supported or asked you to return as Shah for a period of time during transition, would you be open to that option?
I don't think I need a title to perform as a transitional leader.
Go back again, Rob.
Are looking for me
go
to
back 10 seconds, please. All he has to say is yes or no. Go ahead.
Open to that option.
I don't think I need a title to perform as a transitional leader. I think the reason people are looking for me to play that role is because of their confidence in me, their trust in me, and I think to a great extent the track record that I've demonstrated in the past 44 years since I began. And that trust in me allows me to play that national leader role, if you will, and be able to be the element that assembles people together on a common agenda.
What does that
knowing
mean?
that we might differ in opinion, but we are committed to the
What does
democratic
that mean?
outcome.
That's all I want to know. What does that mean? From Tom, if you just heard that, I got a bunch of things to cover here as well. If you just heard that, how do you process what he just said? Brandon, the two of you. What do you think he just said?
Scared, deflecting. I don't know why. It's like against every impulse that I would think somebody would have is to avenge their father, to save their country that's being held captive. So I don't get it.
Because I know Tom.
I would have led with my heart, Pat. I would have if I was JFK Jr. still alive, and you asked me that question, I'm going to be leading with my heart. You undermined my dad. You did this. I would have called out the enemies and saying, we have been waiting for this moment. The people have been waiting over it. Yes, I'm coming back. I would have led with my heart and my passion and the legacy that's in my blood. I couldn't not do it that way.
Mm-hmm. Vinny.
Pat, there's a quote, and I want to read this, Pat, real quick. A great man doesn't seek to lead. He is called to it, and he answers. Okay? He's been called for how many 40-some years, and he's not answering. I'm sorry to be that guy. He said, I've been doing this for 40-some years. I don't see nothing, and nothing has happened. These people are begging. They are literally dying for a freaking leader, and you can't sit on the sideline in this game. And I'm sorry. Sometimes it's bigger than you, okay? When your freaking country needs you with the history that you have, with your father, your name, and these people are freaking suffering, and now there's a freaking war, okay, because you guys let the leadership become what it is. They need change. They need a freaking revolution. And I'm sorry, Pat, if I never even met the guy, and the guy's amazing. We met him, we've hung out with him, you've done a podcast, sweet guy, awesome guy. That's not the guy. I'm sorry. Iran needs somebody to stand the hell up, Pat, rally the freaking people.
Now, the point is Pat David is Iranian. He's from Iran. That's his country. But he don't have no loyalty to his country at all, but he's here. It's like, at what point do we got to look at everybody that's not from here as what's going on?
People rally the troops, get the freaking regime change, and make the difference. That guy's not it. He's saying he's going to play the political rounding up.
Yeah,
what are you going to do?
like
Sit there and say, okay, you lead this, you lead this. No.
It's like being a noble ambassador. The situation doesn't need a noble ambassador. It needs definitive leadership.
Damn right, Tom.
So, you know, the challenge here, Adam, you want to say something? Go for it.
Yeah, I actually agree with Vinny for once wholeheartedly. He is not the guy. You know how you say sometimes you see in the NBA when a guy hits a big shot and they yell, "I'm him, I'm him, I'm that dude." He ain't that dude. Yeah. He's just not. Yeah. He's not born for this. He's not ready for this. This leads me to, I think, maybe what Rob was trying to show. In D.C., there was a massive, on the Capitol lawn, basically silent.
So people think that Patrick Bet-David is paid for because he's from Iran, but he's on America's side. You know, he's pro-Zion. I mean, he's pro-Israel. It's just weird, you know, if you look at it. But I want to get what y'all say. I want to get some call-ins in a minute, but let them close out on this.
Protest on behalf of Iran, and the common theme was free Iran, and all they had was almost makeshift graves of all the people that have died at the hands of not only the Ayatollah, but apparently the Shah. The guy said it was 90% people that died at the hands of the Ayatollah.
Wow.
What I asked him was, this is in the middle of Washington, D.C. I was going to send you this. I saw this today, PBD. There's actually there's more videos, Rob. But what I did was I speak to the gentleman who was running the whole thing. He was part of the Mujahideen movement in Iran. I guess they're the number one sort of dissenters against, that's the same video, Rob. They're the number one dissenters against the Ayatollah. And I asked him point blank, I said, what are you looking for? He goes, we want the free Iran. I said, would you be happy with United States or Israel facilitating a regime change? He said, I want to do it ourselves. We want to do it ourselves. I said, with all due respect, it's sort of too late for that because the foreign people have already gotten in. And I asked him, what percentage of Iranians do you think, in your opinion, this is a pretty connected guy, do you think want the Ayatollah in power? What was the number? He told me 2 to 3%. I said, let me ask you a few more questions. What percentage of the Iranian people?
So, Iran guy runs this channel, so you know we got to take everything with a grain of salt. But what you mean it's time to capitalize and earn money? Universal. What you mean by that? In the stock market or crypto? I was gonna get into that at the end of the show though, about what stocks and what we feel like may take off. We're gonna get to that.
Do you think want the Shah to return? He said less than 10%, call it 7%. I said, so what percentage of the people just want pure democracy, just the ability to be free and vote? He said 90%. So add that math up. Much respect to Reza Pahlavi. He ain't the dude. The people don't want him.
That's so messy. That's what kept us in Iraq for 20 years, though. It's like trying to play, the guardian and put the regime in place for them. And the Mujahideen was what turned into Al Qaeda. So that could be like a serious situation if you just get some random group to be the next.
Those were the former terrorists, though. So we have to know where it got started. But let me say this, guys, with a couple things as we're going through. So questions right now, when you talk to a lot of Iranians and you say, who were the candidates? Well, Reza Pahlavi, if they want to go back to monarchy, okay, great. Is he the guy? I don't know if he's the guy. He can't give an answer. It's unfair to talk to Iranian people like this. Let me explain to you. If I'm in Iran right now and I'm in the thick of things, so imagine you're in Iran, you live in Esfahan, you got hit. Imagine you're in Fordo, you got hit. Imagine you have cousins that are working there. Imagine you have sisters, daughters, family that's living there. Imagine all these people that are living there. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, it's going to be Reza Pahlavi. Oh, it's not really me because I'm just going to be a leader. Answer it. Let's go. Yes, no, maybe. Get out the way. There was a lady that won the Nobel Prize. Her name is Narges. She won the Nobel Prize. That's a name that's.
He sounds like he's still for Iran. He sounds like he's trying to coach up Iran right now. You know? I mean, He's saying let's go, like he trying to see Iran bring some pressure to the United States. Did y'all catch that? What's up?
Some people are putting up in Nargis Mohammadi. That's the name that some people are talking about. There's another one that was Hossein Mousavi. Hossein Mousavi ran as a reformist back in 2008 against Ahmadinejad. There's another one that they have, Tajzadeh, who has the highest chance. Some people think he's got the highest chance of this becoming a reality. But here's the craziest thing. If you ask the average Iranian right now, what are the most important things they want? What are the most important things they want? Iranians, what do they want? Okay. What are the most important thing Iranians want? Number one above everything is not to have a spiritual leader like Ruhollah Khamenei or running Iran and they're making the decisions because they need a spiritual leader. No, that's not what they're looking for. The number one thing, they don't care if the person that replaces whoever they have right now is Jewish. They don't care if it's Christian. They don't care if it's Muslim, Sunni. They don't care. They don't want religion to be the reason why a person is getting elected. They want somebody that can come in and simply address the economy. Open up the damn economy.
If you enjoy this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the
like
entire
him, now, in my opinion, it sounds like what he want. You know, I don't know if y'all could peep that, but it. I'm back. Technical difficulties, but yeah. So we see it didn't look like Papa David was total American when he, you know, how he be talking when he was sitting up with Trump. No, it looks like he may be on the other side. I mean, if you ask me, but I want to let y'all call in and speak on this World War III situation. If you had a best friend, would you bet? I mean, sad as it is, a lot of us don't like it, but the United States and Israel is like they together. We don't want them to be together. We don't want to support a lot of stuff they got going on, but for some reason, they got the biggest, baddest America on their side. But I want to know, what would you do if you was Trump? Because what do we get? Or somebody tell me, what significant stuff we giving them our army? What significant stuff do we get from Israel? That's what I would want to know. If we giving them like army, military, what are we getting in return? That's the real question. But it's time to capitalize off the conflict. But definitely, I want to know what y'all think, man, about this war. Oh, it's a little, but I definitely think it's over. I think it's over right now. From what I don't see nothing that Iran could do as far as if they took out all of their, if what he's saying is true, they took out all of their missiles and where they could shoot bombs and stuff like that. If that's true, I don't see how this could go along any further. But Russia is talking about getting involved. Now you got other countries. So I don't know. I think sometimes you want to flex. You got all this power and you just want to flex it. It's like, I think they never used those planes, those bunker busters before, but now they use them for the first time. So it's like, that's a little alarming. I got a caller. Let's see what they get there.
Department of Government. To accept, press 1. Send a voicemail.
Doge, what's good, man?
What's going on? What's popular in Watertown?
Man, World War III, man. What you think about this?
We'll see.
We'll
I think there's a few more components. There's a few more components.
Oh, so you don't think it's over?
Nah, it's not. It's not that close at all.
Right. So you think it's still more bloodshed?
No, there's got to be a few more players to this.
So somebody else gonna get added, you feel? Okay. More like a Russia.
Yeah, you got to get something of that nature, and not just them. Yeah. Yeah, a few more components. Right. Yeah, a few more components. I mean, if anyone knows about the last one, World War II, I wasn't alive, but there was a few more players. It wasn't just about, Germany's getting busy inside of, Nazi Germany, because the world had known these things were going on, for the longest. Corporations were building those railroads. IBM was hooking up the trains with the technology.
Right.
The newspapers knew what was going on,
Right. So you think Iran stands a chance in this? So you feel like they need more help?
Well, what they're doing right now, no, they're gonna be on their own for a while. The Muslim world out there is not, and from what I've been seeing all my life, it's never been solid.
Okay.
Yeah, they may be Muslims, but they're not. All Muslims are not Arab. The majority of Muslims are not Arab, and when it comes down to being an Arab, you really are from Saudi Arabia. It's sort of like the Latinos and Hispanic situation with Spain. So a lot of people maybe, I'm Arab in Morocco or Egypt or whatever, but Iranians aren't Arab. They're Muslim.
Right. So what I'm saying is, could we have a situation where somebody will take themselves out just to take out some American people? Do you feel like we'll get to that point here in America? That's the biggest question everybody wants to know.
That's a great question. There's a possibility, but they're watching those people already.
So would you be comfortable if it got tense or if it got like real war? Would you be comfortable with gathering up everybody that's from Iran and, making sure that nothing happens to the people? Would that be okay for you, for the country to do that?
Yeah, they can go to Australia. They can go to there's a few locations that are very close by and have the same type of climate. Yeah.
Okay, so you good with them grabbing up all of the people that could be from that, could be involved and could be a solid enemy. You cool with them grabbing them all up, rounding them all up?
I didn't say I'm cool, but I could see the play where, if you round them all up, put them in a location where same type of climate, same type of weather. I could see that like in Australia, Southern Asia, something of that nature, something nearby. Why split them so far apart and make a diaspora or something like that? Okay. That would be cool.
Yeah, right. Okay. Because that's what happened, when I think it was 9/11, what was with Iraq? I mean, I ain't gonna say that happened completely, but that was that was what was going on, where people were profiled when they was from that Middle East. So do you feel like how Donald Trump is handling this? Is he handling it right for you?
I voted for this.
You voted for this. Wow.
Yeah, it's not a game. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen these things happen. Mhm.
Got you.
And like you know, if I want to mention, you know, when our president, President Trump, the greatest president of the United States, met with Prime Minister Netanyahu earlier this year.
Right.
They discussed moving the people of Gaza. And what I do know is that there are projects in play for the longest. Have you ever heard of the Suez Canal?
No. Negative.
Okay, the Suez Canal is a transportation area where shipping for maritime products can be streamlined quicker from, let's say, Asia, Africa, Europe, and it's right in between Egypt. And it's almost like the Panama Canal, but it's the Suez Canal.
Okay.
So Israel has a project called the Ben Gurion Canal. It hasn't been built all the way, but if you look it up, it's right through Gaza area of Palestine. They're trying to create it right through Palestine, and so they won't have to deal with the Muslim world. Now it can be streamlined with a friendly ally, where America can have their goods travel through shipping, the oils, the rice, all the consumer goods.
So you for supporting Israel, basically?
I'm not supporting death and destruction, but this thing's been going on longer than me.
Yo, but I'm telling you, you saying this degree. Are you riding with Israel or not? Are you feeling like, yo, I'm not riding with y'all, y'all doing some funny business, or you like, yo, you my blood brother. Whatever you get into, I get into. How are you, like, where are you on that spectrum right there?
Well, before I answer that, Mr. Watergod, I do come from the same type of background as Patrick Bet-David, only by name. I have a Persian name that is usually a last name in Iraq. You know, I have a parent who has a childhood friend, and their last name is my first name, and they're from that era where Mr. David Bett is from.
Okay.
And I want to clear up too, the reason why he's like that, you know, being born in Iran, and why he's like this, because he didn't grow up in the times before the Shah. He didn't grow up in the times before the revolution over there. And so it's almost like, if I was going to compare, it'd be like someone from down south who grew up in Jim Crow versus someone who grew up in down south during integration. He has been more Americanized, westernized. He fancies this, and so that's the mindset of someone like him. You know, so to answer your question with the Israel thing, no, I wouldn't be a fool to ever be on board or online or offline to say that I am against anything such. You know, that's just the way it is. I'm trying to play it smart.
Right. So check it. You're not against.
So I want to be clear.
Right.
So I'm not against Israel. You know.
You're not against Israel, but are you for them? Are you right and you're backing them, whatever, right, wrong, or indifferent?
I'm not backing forever wars. I think this is going to be swift. I think there's going to be submission round 2. Submission.
Right.
Calling.
Got you.
It's not going to get to World War II, bro.
Right.
It's not going to get to World War III. It's not going to get into the championship round, bro.
No. Okay. I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm just saying on you said you voted for this. So I'm saying,
Yeah.
did you vote for the support of being Israel's supporting Israel 100%? Are you for that?
I'm on board with the going forward with what's going on. This is part of Manifest Destiny.
It's part of Manifest Destiny. Hold on, man. I think we got another caller real quick.
From.
Sonny.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right, Sonny. Hold on real quick, Sonny. All right, Doge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got Sonny on the other line, but go ahead and land your plane. What you think? You backing, so you don't really want to back Israel. You just backing them because you support Trump, basically, right?
Like I said, it doesn't touch my heart what's truly going on. I'm an observer.
Right.
It's unfortunate, but you have to look at it, Mr. Water God. I want you to really look at it without this emotional attachment. All right, and this country was established in 1948. These people over there have not been able to get it together.
Okay.
Not even on their own. They need American help. Obviously, they need help. They would not been able to do that without American help. Iran was kicking their ass.
Got you. They need American. Got you. They need American help, man. Let me get Sonny on the other line, man. I'm gonna hit you later, man. We're gonna talk about that SUI and XRP. All right, Sonny, what's up, man?
Oh, not much, man. Just listening in.
Just listening in, man. I want to get you was about to break me the whole play on how you felt about the World War III, but I want to get it to you. I want to get it from you. Now, I want to get how you feel about this Iran and this World War III. Shout out to Mickey Jones.
Well, first things first. You remember, I ain't got no filters. I'm gonna tell you how it is.
Right. Okay. I like that.
You know that whole area over there was black. Dr. Kim.
Okay.
Now all of a sudden they did both of Persia and the whole entire area. Basically going all the way back to 650 AD when the Arabs tried to act like they were kinfolk to the Egyptians and went to war with the Roman Empire. That's the Christians who chased up the region. And right afterwards, that's when they started, enslaving the black race. The murder died.
Okay.
Tens of millions of Egyptians and black folks ran up out of there down into Africa. And basically for 850 years before any white man ever set foot on this land here, they were selling them back to the Arabs. So I have no love for the Arabs at all. Come up and they get just getting with stuff and tickets for coming home to roof space. Now you start talking about some Khazarians, some Indians Jews, some Khazarians, they just another one. They're all scavengers. They're just a bunch of buzzers. So when I look at Israel into it, in the Gaza,
right.
One, I could care less. I don't think we should be in it. I don't, if the pink race want to go over there and wage war, let them do what they do. But I don't think any brown or melanated individuals be able to fight for them at all. Period. We got our own battle. Now, as far as Iran, the same thing. You can't count the wars and invasions over there. It's too many. Now, all of a sudden, you have the Islam, the Muslims over there, and they want to, empower themselves from there, and they can use them as a device to empower all their other regimes. They're the ones holding the
over there, they've been stable rattling for 40 years or whatever, talking about death to America and everything else. Well, we just punched you in your mouth. Now what you gonna do? So Obama, undercover Muslim, he gave him damn near $1 trillion. I mean, he's in power. So, I mean, no. I'm glad to see we got a president that's willing to go over there and stick it to him. Now what you want to do? You know, all of that talk. Now what? You know? Let's see what comes out of it. Now, Russia has been talking to him. China. That's a whole nother ballgame. Russia's back is against the wall. They need the drones and all kind of other stuff. You know, China and all of them can help them out with, as far as Ukraine, which is another scope.
Right.
But I mean, it's way big. All of us are thinking. You know, I've been listening to a lot of individuals talk, and I think us as a black people, brown race,
right,
we need to leave alone and stay out of their business. If they want to blow each other up, go ahead and have fun. But I guarantee you that their MO is when they get finished fighting with each other, they come to us.
Right. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, that's crazy. What's up, Patrick? Patrick in the house. Yeah, man. So do you feel that Israel, right? If you were the president, would you let Israel, would you fire them shots in Iran, or would you just let them deal with their own self?
Well, the brother you had on before me, you know, he was talking about the canal running. Okay, the new one they're building there, supposedly what it is 6 to 8 hours in, 6 or 8 hours out with the one that's there. Now, once they finish this other one, it's a round trip. So I think they made somewhere. I'm probably wrong, but I know I'm close to the number, about 6 billion or so.
Okay.
But now once they finish the other one, it's in and out. So they're going to triple that. So that's to me, that's the real reason Israel is going into the Gaza. Okay, it's because they want control over that. Now, if they don't, the Arabs are going to have control over it. You know what I'm saying? So the whole gamut of what's going on is really a joke. Because to me, that's the real reason they're in there.
Right. You think they in there for other purposes. Right. I get what you're saying.
They're in there to control that now. Okay. That's
right.
the way I see it.
Guys.
Now, as far as the interests of the United States and Israel, okay, let's give them a little help, but I don't think American troops need to be on the ground and this and that. And Israel saying that they were going to be finished or complete with a nuclear bomb within the next 2 weeks if they didn't do anything. I think that's a joke too, but who knows? I don't know. That's their intel. So,
right.
But regardless, Iran was backing them. And so once they got finished with them, they went after the ones that was backing. You know, I mean, it's just as obvious as anything, but now you need an excuse. What's the excuse? Okay, they're producing a nuclear weapon. So now you got America that went over there and punched you in the face, you know. What you gonna do?
Right.
They say anything, we're gonna do something else. But I'm still glad that we have a president that's not about to take any mess with anybody. And that's sending a clear message to the entire world that America's not acting.
Yeah. He definitely sending messages. Definitely sending messages.
Yeah. No, I'm not 100%. I voted for Trump all 3 times. I'm not apologizing. And, but you know, you're never gonna agree with anybody 100%. I don't agree with him 100%. But I'd say about 70, 78% of what he's doing economically and everything else, yeah. And
you rocking with him. Right.
But, I see a lot of racism and other BS that I don't like either. That's just being honest. But it's better than anybody else that's sitting there as far as I'm concerned.
Hey,
so I'm going to have to roll with it. You know, his decisions, they make sense to me.
Right.
He's been playing it close to the chest he ain't putting it out there. He just telling you how it is. The next thing you know, man, he doesn't put it on you, you know.
Right, right. So you riding with him, rather he right, wrong, or indifferent. Whatever choice he make, you like, I'm a roll with it.
Just about, you know, just like during this campaign, he was talking about how they came over and tamed this savage land and all of that. Man, that pissed me off so bad because I'm hearing a lot of stuff, especially, you know, with what's going on over in Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, you know, the turning point with Africa going through right now.
Right.
And I see black people all over this country talking about, like we Africa, like we all came over here on a bunch of slave boats, you know, and that's crazy. You know, when you look at it, if you do your research, you're gonna find out over 150 million of our people was genocided by these nuts, you know, when they came over here. We got bombarded by 7 different countries at one time. This was the promised land that they've been looking for.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you said, okay, the records are starting to show that less than 500 million came over here. That means 80% of Black America, give or take, has a lineage leading to the North Atlantic slave trade.
Okay.
So the goal should be to get back the land. There's 1.9 billion acres of land that make up the country.
Right.
And you know what we all do for a living. You know, we done seen it all. You know, and I've seen how they living, and I've seen how my people live. It ain't nice. So if someone comes and takes your land, whoever possession control the land control the sea. So now they're taking all this wealth from the land. I think Black America, I think that's something like 3.8% of the land now.
Yeah.
You know, we used to have 100%. So the land should be priority. Taxation of land. You want to stay here, we need the money. I mean, look how much money they gave away in foreign aid. It's crazy. It's insane.
A lot.
And we should be after that.
Yeah.
So you got land, taxation, then it should be compensation for the wealth that they stole.
Right.
Gotta give it back, you know? And now we go for reparations, which I consider personal debt. So, I mean, I think we as the people, we need to get on the same, you know, on the same frequency.
Yeah, frequency is that, man. Our land. You're right, because a lot of people come here and they can't even call this their first country. They from another country. They can call out another country, but we still got our people that this is all they know. You know, their parents, great grandparents came from right here. So I'm with you, Sonny.
That's a huge brainwashing when you think about it. If you separate the kids from their parents, grandfathers, people, so that they don't know the history, then you brainwash them all into believing that they come over there on slave ships.
Right.
So basically, they core values our history, our native tongue, our core values, everything out of us, an empty slate. They put what they want in there. Now we got a bunch of us running around and not knowing the truth. You know, somebody like me come along and start telling, they think I'm nuts. Oh, wait, calm down.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yeah, you know, and I'll tell you this too, and I know a lot of people gonna hate this, but you know, I be into the spiritual aspect of things. You know, Sanko 5, the Ma'at, 147 more that are all in the Ma'at, the ancient.
Okay.
And so when you start to learn that and move forward, you start to see how the Greeks, they 1,200 miles over the water over there, gonna write the book about a little black boy over here. You know,
yeah, that's weird. Yup.
Nah,
can't be done.
They did all of that. So,
yeah.
You start to realize that one of them went over to Luxor and Karnak for 6 years and 8 months, and another one for 17 years, another one for 20-something years. Got that knowledge and did all of this. You start to realize that they put this together to control the people. It's a lot of lies, but untruth. But you had to take the truth and sprinkle it with some lies in order to get everybody to believe.
Yeah.
So this book is a weapon of mass destruction amongst the black race wherever they go. We need to come home and start, you know, get the truth, get the real knowledge of ourselves and start practicing that. You know, I am a believer in divine hate.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a hate for the whole world. Because without a divine hate, you don't have a divine love. You're not going to protect it. You know, it's different. Okay, I got a little love for something over here. You know, hey, somebody called 911 to help them, you know?
Right.
And I got that love over there, but I got that hate. People by that hate. So over here, I got my child. If you go to messing with my child, I mean, I ain't even going to think about it. I'm going to jeopardize my life, everything. I'm just going to react. That's a divine love. It's empowered by divine hate. I have a divine hate for what you're doing, what I have a divine love for. So if we as a people start to have a divine love, but not just our children and this and that, but for each other, for the land, for our history, for everything, then we will sacrifice it all to hold on to it. And by them teaching this love, love, love stuff, you know, against hate, don't hate, hate is evil, hate is bad. You turn your back on the hate. When you lessen the hate, you lessen the love. You see what I'm saying? So you need to learn how to hate, power of hate, you know. You got the divine law that runs parallel with divine hate. Hate is the protector. Divine law is broken. Divine hate comes in and corrects. When you obey divine law, you have divine order. In divine order, all needs are fulfilled. So you have divine love. So if you break divine law, you have disorder and chaos, and divine love is effective. So we have to learn how to master hate. You know, you just can't hate somebody because of their color or something like that. You gotta hate the breaking of the law. You know how they bring harm to one another.
Yeah.
And let me get out of the way.
Man, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. That made perfect sense to me, man. And I'm sure the chat going off on you too, saying you got a lot of common sense. So, man, you tapped in, man. You did good, man. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it, Sonny.
All right, man. I look forward to watching your next show. I'm gonna keep up with you from now on.
Man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But yeah, man, always I be looking forward to hearing from you.
You got it.
All right, brother. Man. So there y'all see it, man. There you go. Sonny was going in on us, man. So he said the instinct, that's the instinct of a man. What do you mean with the love and the hate he was talking about? Knowing how to use that hate. But shout out to Doe, shout out to Sonny, man. They gave their perspectives. And those are two people who voted for Trump. So, you know, we seeing a lot of the Trump supporters. A lot of the Trump supporters is, you know, they co-sign whatever Trump is doing. They're going to back it 100. So my point is, when do we start looking at the people that's from these countries that we war with, and they're right here? But dude is in touch. Yeah, he in touch for real. And the sacrifice. My point is, when do we start, like, you know, if we beefing with Iran and we're going to war with them, you know, how is it with some of the people that's from Iran and them being here, going to war with that country? It just seems a little weird to me. But Doge said something like, but he didn't grow up in that time, so he ain't got that liberation spirit. But Trump ain't playing no games, I tell you that. And it don't look like it's gonna go well for anybody testing his gangster. But right, it's just a tough question, man. How would it look when you know your country doing damage to another country and then they're here? You know, you see how Mexico throw up their country and they beat, you know, people from Mexico and how they doing that and burning stuff down. Can you imagine us going to war with a country and you got some of the people here that's from that country. But they already assimilated. Yeah, it's just, they say a lot of stuff about how America is bought as a lot of countries that own it. A lot of countries are already invested in stuff that's in America. Let me see if the streaming is, but they already assimilated. So that's why I looked at what Patrick David was saying, because I'm like, man, you're the biggest Iran star in America right now. And he seems like he coaching up Iran right now. He'll be somebody who can give good intel, good insight about what America got, about how you can threaten them, In war, I'm sure people look for people to cross over. My favorite tennis player growing up is Iranian. That's Andre Agassi. Okay. Oh man, we got Patrick in here. Michigan has one of the largest aerobic. Let me see, Pat. My bad. All right, Patrick, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, brother? Sorry I didn't get your text until just a little bit ago.
Oh, okay. No, you good, man. So, what's your take on this? We had two other brothers felt that Trump, they're backing Trump. They voted for this. They are in support of this. How do you feel about this this World War III talk?
So first up, starting off with the two other brothers, can I be the honorary third brother just for the sake of the conversation?
Yeah, for sure.
I love it.
You are.
I'm against it entirely.
Oh,
wow. And again, just like the last fellow, I voted for Trump both times. And I think the thing that really energized a lot of the kind of more center, classically liberal types more to, I guess, the modern conservative movement was its overt anti-war stance. And I think we're being ripped off now.
So, right. So you don't believe in what Trump did and bombing Iran? You're not supporting of that?
No, it can only escalate to our detriment. It's one of these situations where we have almost immeasurable downside for no upside.
Wow. Yeah.
There are a lot of people in the world that don't like us, and they do feel sympathetic, right, wrong, or indifferent, with Iran and their allies as well. This is a motivating force for them to another, strange bedfellows that ordinarily wouldn't see eye to eye on many things. The enemy of what is it? The enemy of fuck, I forgot what it is. Not the enemy is my friend, but it's the inverse of that, right?
Yeah.
Think properly here. I do have worries about domestic and kind of global terrorism in the sense that we have a lot of people that maybe in the last 4 years came over to this country, or people that have been hanging out here for a while that, again, will be sympathetic to Iran's cause. And history has proven they have no problem taking themselves out, take a whole lot of other people out at the same time. And I know today there have been 2 attacks in the US, one at a church in Michigan. I only heard just kind of the tail end of it, and there was another attack as well, both of which didn't really hit the news. And
wow,
the allegedly the identity of the attacker was not stated in both cases, both targeting groups of Christians. One was at a church specifically, and I just kind of caught the tail end of the other one. So I don't know what that is or isn't worth. But
so you feel like this was from an Iranian people?
Not necessarily. It could just
Right.
be some random born and raised American, who's sympathetic to their cause and decided that, they wanted to, um, I guess be an activist in something. It could be one of them. It could be someone from a different nation. It's hard to say.
Gotcha. So how do you feel about Israel? Do you feel like, are you supporting them 100%?
0, maybe -0 if that's possible.
-0. So you totally against what Israel does as far as how they run their business and how we kind of are their big brothers or something like that? How you feel about their relationship?
I guess I don't feel that Israel is a legitimate state to begin with. There were a bunch of people from the 1930s, all over Europe that had some levels of Jewish ancestry, that got relocated to a place of Palestine. Palestine was part of the Persian Empire, of course, the Persian Empire being Iran. So Palestine, Iran are historically and intrinsically linked to one another. That was one of their client states for a very, very long time. And one thing you ever notice, if you're talking to somebody on the street, right? And you say something about like, oh, look at this white guy over here. Excuse me, I'm not white. I'm Jewish. You hear that trope a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, look at everybody's neighbors around Israel, right? Are you going to confuse any of them as being white?
No.
The Egyptians, Syrians, no, you're not
No.
going to. Exactly, because this group of people that was placed over there in Palestine, they're Europeans. They got some blood of the native folks there, not much. And since they've, taken occupation of the land over there, they've not been good guests. They've done far more terrible things to their neighbors than they, accuse their neighbors of doing to them. And so my simple solution, if I were to have it, was just leave them alone. We don't support them. We don't do anything for them or against them. We just leave them alone and let them figure out their dispute with their neighbors and see if they decide to play more friendly with them.
Listen, I'm for you. I'm with you with the Israel. I don't like the stuff that they're doing too. But where does the line draw itself? If you voted for Trump, right? But you're so against what Israel doing, but you see your president supporting a country that you wouldn't support. Where does the line get drawn?
I mean, I guess even the people that we're closest to, we never agree 100% with them. That's just like the last fellow was saying there, I mean,
yeah,
you can be 80% of the way with somebody and, you can have a proper relationship, and things can be good, but that little 5%, 10%, 20%, I mean, it's a thing,
Right. So that's tough, man. So, yeah, I'm with you. I don't feel that us supporting Israel is just, I don't want us to do it. I want us to be all for self. But I mean, you can't. Everybody got allies, right? But that ally, I'm not okay with. I don't feel like it's just not right to me. It ain't right.
I mean, if we have a true ally in the Middle East, I think it's Saudi Arabia. I don't think it's Israel. Because Saudi Arabia's politics and the way they conduct business is not causing us to lose lives, lose face, and cause a lot of geopolitical instability. Now, there is some geopolitical instability, which is why we're good bedfellows. Reason being is the petrodollar, and they help to prop that up so that oil is sold in the U.S. dollar, and so that allows us to basically be the reserve currency of the world. So doing that, we have a substantial benefit from them. Israel doesn't give us any benefit, you know.
Mm-hmm. Dang, yeah. That's crazy. That's
You
crazy.
know?
Well, man, I appreciate you for tapping in. I got another caller in, Patrick.
All right, man. You get to it, brother. I'll check you later.
Yes.
Thanks for having me in, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you. You have a good one.
Likewise. See you, man.
See. All right, y'all. I had Dave. Dave, what's good, man? I got you on the show. You know I'm live still. It doesn't matter who. Sonny was on. Sonny was on and gave his. Shout out to Yep. Shout out to LaFerris. He said it doesn't matter what president is. We are always going to support Israel. Every president got to let the support of Israel. Yeah, everyone we got supported them, but dang, I don't like it. I just don't like it. You put, yes, they do diamonds. They steal from Africa. I'm with you, LaFerris. I just feel like, I don't know, man. I don't like backing the stuff they be doing. But it is what it is. I guess we support them no matter what. That's crazy, though, in my opinion. But yeah, everybody's saying the same thing. We had 3 people call in. 2, all of them was really not totally with Israel, but they'll back Trump because, you know, they feel like Trump's doing a great job. But shout out to Patrick was not one. Patrick was saying, you know, he can't agree with everybody on everything, but he's not with the war. So hopefully this war don't get too crazy. There's a lot of people thinking that it's not gonna get crazy. But I don't know, man. I don't know. China and Russia get involved. I'm gonna be nervous. But if they stay out of it, I feel like this will be over real quick. But stocks, man, I wanted to get those guys. I wanted to get Avatar because, you know, right after war, we get a lot of opportunities after the war. Patrick put, it's gonna get bad. I want to be wrong though. Yeah, me too, man. I want to be wrong too. But it's always a crisis. It always comes opportunity in crisis. So in my chat, in my Discord, we was Doge and my boy Avatar was going at it about what should you invest in, you know, right now. And we was talking about SUI or XRP. And just because of sending money, if y'all don't know about XRP, it's about sending money, and SUI, from what I learned, is a first platform that I guess you can transfer money bank to bank. I like that, Patrick. You got to invest in yourself, right? Rather than that got to be your first investment. But we need to talk crypto sometime. Straight up. I mean, XRP, like, shout out to my boy Avatar. He big on XRP. And that's just a money transaction tool where they can use to transact money real fast. But a lot of people feeling like it could be some fireworks and some money to be made because of all of this war. Some people said oil is gonna go, the price of oil was gonna go up. So cross-border exchange. So that is what was going on in our little chat. Was talking about SUI and XRP, but I want to know if it is gonna be some oil prices may go out, because every time when war happens, oil prices gets real high. But XRP, yeah. So I mean, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for seeing if it could be any, any opportunity, man, during this crisis that we could take advantage of. Straight up. Now, but listen, I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I'm gonna probably go live after the game tonight as well, seeing what news break. Probably do something after the game, but I appreciate everybody for calling in. Shout out to Trail Jackson TV. I got a link with my boy. Yeah, on the next show. I like to hear y'all opinion on this stuff, because hey, we're in some crazy times right now. But I definitely, it feels good to be really from here. This is the country that you claim, and this is where you from. So shout out to everybody, no matter where you from or whatever. Salute to everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all smash that like button for me, man, so it puts me on the algorithm. I appreciate everybody who supported. I catch y'all after the basketball game, man. I'll probably go live and have some more call-ins, man. Everybody will probably be up live in effect. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Peace and love. I'll see y'all later. Scared money don't make no money.